welcome to a new episode of the Jazz Zodiac Podcast, the podcast that has no real agenda and no real script, as far as you know. This is the podcast that, doesn't really give a fuck about most of the releases we had on Friday. There's a couple we care about, or at least that I care about, but we'll talk about that later. But first, let me introduce these guys, these troublemakers, this mayhem of sorts. Of course, we have the creator and the host of the Charles Richardson Show, none other than Mr. Charles Richardson, also known as Sir Charles. Yeah, and he pays for that too. So,
It is me, Charles Housen.
And be careful, kids. He might curse you. He curses everybody. And of course, the repeat movie viewer, Psycho Nerd Podcast, the camera that keeps moving with him, even though he doesn't know how to sit still, none other than the Psycho Nerd. Yeah, that's on repeat apparently, because I forgot to look for a new insult this week, but that's okay.
I feel the love, man. I feel the love.
Like I indicated at the beginning of the intro, we did have some releases that happened on Friday, right before SmackDown, as a matter of fact. They literally happened like an hour or two before SmackDown went down.
Some releases?
Yeah, there was quite a few, just to name the few, and I think these are in alphabetical order. You had Alba Fire, Aleister Black, Alex Shelley, Andre Chase, Apollo Crews, Bo Dallas, Chris Island, Chris Sabin, Dante Chen, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Kerry Zane, Luca Crespino, Malik Blade, Nikki Cross, Santos Escobar, Serena Linton, Trill London, Tyra May Steele, Tarek Igwe, Tyson DuPont, Selena Vega, and Zoe Stark. That's everybody. Now, some of those names, and it's fucked up because Zoe Stark had just gotten cleared. She was medically cleared, and then she got fucking dropped. And I'm like, it is what it is.
At least, I mean, you could say at least they didn't drop her while she was injured. That would have been
done that before, though. They've done that.
It would have been. I know it would have been fucked up, but still, it's like, what the fuck.
But the two I want to focus on the most, and we talked about this before we hit record, are the Wyatt Six and Kerry Zane. We'll talk about Kerry Zane first. Charles, what are your thoughts on Kerry Zane getting released in the middle of a storyline, might I add?
Yeah, unfortunately, Asuka's going to have to go ahead and use that very constipated yell at somebody else.
Yeah, it's actually quite hilarious when she does it.
I don't understand that move. Listen, I get the six, but I don't understand, Kyrie, how you got a formidable tag team, the Kabuki Warriors. Yeah. No, they are. I don't know what happened. They got to bring her back. I mean, there's going to be something. There's going to be an R-Truth like thing going on.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. But again, some of us knew that was a work. It wasn't legit. It was just, they're going to release him and whatever Unreal says. I call bullshit on that.
Regardless, though, why you release somebody that's one half of a formidable women's tag team?
Yep.
You need tag teams in the women's division, and the Kabuki Warriors, they're not the Nikki and Paige, or excuse me, Brie and Paige, or Charlotte and Alexa. No, they're the Kabuki Warriors. They have a name.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? That you need that. Plus, she's fucking hot, and she's Asian. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna miss her.
Anything you want to add to that, Psycho?
I agree. It does not make sense. I mean, one half of very formidable former tag team champions, multiple times, if I'm not mistaken. And she was in the middle of a storyline where we were kind of hoping eventually she was going to step up, stand up for herself, and stand up to Asuka, and probably end up having a really fun set of matches between the two. But it's like, well, nice way to throw that out the window. But here's the thing. It's very well documented that it's not WWE that did the releasing. It was TKO.
Yep.
They're the ones that did all this. And I'm just going to throw this out there because with all these people that got thrown out, did you notice that not a single person from the bloodline was thrown out? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that there's anything funny going on. I just find that.
Hold on a second. First off, the bloodline is a formidable family in WWE. The Rock is on the board of TKO.
There you go. See,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Conspiracy theory.
But those guys haven't really been doing anything interesting for the entire the entire year. Let's be fair here. If anybody in that group, if anybody needs to be cut, maybe a couple of those guys that are not really contributing a whole lot of anything interesting.
Yeah.
So just saying.
I will say this, though, that it's not even, I'm talking about the White Six when I talk about this. This is not even their fault. This is just shitty booking by TKO, not even WWE. It's TKO that's dropping the ball. They have, and they debuted the White Six here in Corpus Christi when they, what, 2-3 years ago, something like that. It's one of those things where it's like, if you booked them better, and if they were going against somebody besides the MFTs, they might have been a better force. But I don't, and also the Motor City Machine Guns, is that what they're called? They
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, they got dropped too.
Shitty booking, because they were hot for a while,
and they won a number one contender spot a while back, and they never got their match. So again, something ain't stirring the Kool-Aid, man. Jesus, it's fucked up.
Well, dude, they won the tag championships on their first night on SmackDown. Like, what the?
Yep,
it was a great start. What the fuck, man?
Now,
I wasn't.
I'm gonna say this, though.
That's the thing.
Of one of the releases that happened, there's one that you don't want to see somebody lose their job. I'm not going to be that guy, but someone who really wasn't doing anything that kind of needed to go away was Zelina Vega. She was just she was Karrion Kross's wife, Scarlett. It was the same role. Karrion Kross and Scarlett were doing the whole, you should do evil things and listen to the voices in your head. And then he gets dropped. They both get released. And then Aleister Black and Zelina Vega kind of just went right in the same role. You should do this and you should do that. And we're dark. And, ooh, here's Selena's tits that are popping out of her shit. And then.
That was hot.
Yeah,
I could go ahead. If I was in TKO, I could build a whole storyline around Zelina's tits.
But they were doing the same shit. And I see why they got dropped, because they weren't doing anything. And apparently I read somewhere online that people are like, well, he should go back to AEW. And I don't know how true this is. But AEW has already said, no, we don't want him back, because apparently he didn't want to put people over. He didn't want to lose matches.
But he wanted to lose matches with WWE.
So Alistair Hogan, I know that's the vernacular these days with anybody who doesn't want to put anybody over. Oh, it's Becky Hogan. Oh, it's Roman Hogan. Like, dude, he's Alistair Black. He's just a dick, But yeah, this was, we had other stories to talk about today, but when these releases dropped, I'm like, we got to talk about them. But definitely the Wyatt Six, unfortunate. But then again, a lot of this is booking, and with all the NXT call-ups that we had, it's like, it's just inevitable that they're going to start dropping people, you know what I mean? And half these people I've never even heard of, they're probably in NXT or they're in developmental. So, I wish them the best of luck. I hope, who was it? Matt Cardona tweeted and said, for somebody who's been released by the company, he said, you have 3 things you can do. You can write on the coattails of your name in WWE, you can wallow in self-pity and not do shit, or you can reinvent yourself and try again. And I saw that. It's funny because he did that. Drew McIntyre has done that. There's plenty of people that have been released by WWE and then been able to come back. Now, granted, they released Kairi Sane a couple years ago and then brought her back again. So maybe there's a little bit of hope that maybe they'll bring her back again. I don't know. Maybe we'll get that story like 10 years in the future that she finally turns on Asuka.
I know Bo Dallas definitely can reinvent himself. He went ahead as being the, I believe, to the Uncle Howdy character, which basically was something that he interacted with his brother on that one. So he's definitely got a lot of lineage in WWE, which made the release kind of shocking.
Yeah, it did.
If you wanted to go ahead and dismantle the Wyatt Six, I would have at least kept Bo.
Yeah.
The Uncle Howdy character could have been useful.
Again, Nikki Cross didn't wrestle. She was just there.
And I was disappointed by that. I was like, when is she ever going to get back to wrestling again? She never wrestled one time the entire time she was in that stable. No. It's like, this is an opportunity for her to wrestle other people and really utilize that creepy factor to her advantage. And they fucking dropped that ball hard.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Yeah, we could talk about this all fucking day, but let's move on to our next topic. Going back to WrestleMania 42, again, wasn't the greatest WrestleMania, but it sure as fuck was not WrestleMania 9 by any means. With that being said, I'll start with Psycho here. On both nights, not just night 1 or night 2, but on both nights, which match did not need to be on that card? Just one match didn't need to be on the card.
Well, I don't know if Charles knows, but I know I told you yesterday. I actually went back and rewatched the first night of WrestleMania because I finally got to see the 2 matches I missed.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
And if I had to pick a match, I would have to go with the opening of the first night, the 6-man tag, the Usos, and LA Knight versus Logan Paul, show speed, all that shit. If I had to pick one, I'd be that one. I mean, personally, I thought the match, it had some fun element to it. It was a little bit funny here and there. But in the grand scheme of things, they could have just as easily taken that match out, and they could have put the, what was it? The Julia versus Tiffany.
Yeah.
They could have just as easily put that match in that same slot. And I think that it would have been a lot more effective because, you get as many title matches in as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Julia hasn't really been doing a whole lot the past so many months, from my understanding. So, but I know why this match was on the card, because it was a fun element, a fun starter type match. I get it, but that's the only one I can think of that didn't need to be there. That's the only one.
I agree. Charles, what do you think? Do you agree with that, or
we're talking about a match that didn't need to be there?
Yeah, it didn't need to be on the card at all. I know there's a few on night one that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I would have to agree, actually, because I'm looking at everything right now to see if there was anything different.
Yeah,
you got a championship match. Gunther, Seth Rollins, I guess, would be another one, but that's Seth Rollins' return to WrestleMania, so I kind of see that being in there. Championship match, unsanctioned match, but Fatu and McIntyre, but that was a fun match.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, I would have to say, that 6-man tag team, where I don't like 6-man tag teams. If you want to do a triple threat or a fatal 4-way tag team, let's do that. But 3-man tag teams, I don't get and I don't like, especially when you have a formidable tag team like the Vision and the Usos, and you throw in some random fucking wild card like I show speed. I show you the fucking door. That's what I show you. Get the fuck out.
I love that. No, it's funny. I agree with that 100%. And I think part of it was because they wanted to put I Show Speed on the show, but they also had nothing for LA Knight, which is a travesty. I'm sorry. This man deserves a push. This man deserves to be
a singles match, and I said it on the show right before WrestleMania. Yeah. It is a travesty that there's nothing for Carmella Hayes, and there's no singles match, championship match. I don't care what it is. Some gold. Bring back the 24/7 championship. I don't care. He needs some fucking gold.
I agree. They're misusing LA Knight badly.
Some people will argue there's too much gold in WWE, but I'm like, AEW has a lot of belts, and I'm not saying be like AEW, but it is what it is. And I agree that the 6-man tag didn't need to be there. You could have put the Tiffany versus Julia match that was on SmackDown this past Friday on that card and open the show. It opens the show. And to another point, whoever is the creative for SmackDown has fumbled the U.S. title, the women's U.S. title.
TKO.
They fumbled it big time. And the Intercontinental Women's Championship has some relevancy in it. It's had some excitement behind it. The U.S. one, not so much.
That's true.
You made the argument there's too much gold. I'm just writing down the list on them. You get the U.S. title, Intercontinental, World, and WWE, which is for separate brands.
Yeah, of course.
And the tag team. What more belts are you looking for? I mean, the women's are now coming up to the same level of belts as the men, which is very good.
Yeah.
But what are you talking about too many belts? I don't think there's too many belts.
That's not me. That's the IWC saying that. I think I'm okay with another belt here or there. But
well, IWC can go fuck themselves.
No, I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you.
And they can do it without lube and a freaking 12-inch black dildo.
Ew.
Dude.
Yeah. Can they get on it first too? They can pull the Iron Sheik, Hawk Tua, whatever Iron Sheik used to say.
They just pull the Hawk Tua on him.
Yeah,
with her.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in a minute, have we? She kind of just disappeared.
Good.
Moving on, we did get a couple of new champions over the week for the main titles anyway. Of the 4 main titles, the 2 women, the 2 men, 3 of the 4 changed hands at WrestleMania. So with that being said, we'll start with Rhea Ripley. Sir Charles, who is gonna take that gold off of Rhea now that she's on SmackDown?
Io.
Ooh, I hadn't thought of that.
It's only a matter of time. Listen, I love that they're having this lesbian affair thing going on and everything like that. I get it. I mean, but it's only a matter of time before either. I don't think Rhea is going to turn. I think she's been the one that's getting turned. She's the one that doesn't break up with people.
Yeah.
She's broken up with. Hi, Dom. Talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I see EO shoot now. Now that I think about it, if TKO had half a brain, which they don't, let's clearly, obviously, don't expect this. But now that Asuka has lost Kyrie, EO go back to Asuka.
Yeah, quite possibly it could happen. But then again, she can't be on Raw if she does that. That's a SmackDown title unless they flip them.
Who the fuck says anything? Who is really on SmackDown and Raw anymore?
Honestly, that's valid. What about you, Psycho? Do you agree with EO, or would it be somebody else?
Honestly, I really feel like that would be the way to go, because I even said I thought that EO was going to turn her back on Rhea back at Mania. It didn't happen, but
you weren't the only one that thought that.
Exactly. And it's not to say that couldn't be addressed down the road. Now, they're on separate brands, which is fine. Rhea's probably not going to lose that title for a while. If they were smart, they would keep it on her for a while. That's not to say that, I don't know, just throwing it out there, EO sometime next year could win the Royal Rumble and give her an opportunity to challenge Rhea. Like, started out as a big friendship type thing, and then eventually it comes out that, oh, wait, Rhea, you never beat EO. You've never beaten her. Ooh, there's an angle to start with.
There you go. I mean?
And it starts right there. It starts off friendly, and before you know it, it turns into a big rivalry type situation. So if they did it correctly, again, we know TKO is dropping the fucking ball lately. If they were smart, that would be a good angle to go with.
Yep.
But we all know that they're not going to do it because they're fucking everything up.
Cody and Randy in the female version.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, basically. Just addressing the history they have with each other. Yeah. They have a lot of history with each other, from what I've read. I don't know. I think that's a good idea.
I'm gonna go out in left field with my. EO makes sense. It really does. But I'm gonna go with logic, which is something TKO has very little of. This person is currently injured, but she should be coming back hopefully soon. Chelsea Green. I think she's due for a big title. She's over with the crowd. She's a really good ring performer, and I think her as a heel champion. And Rhea's a baby. You gotta have that transition from baby to heel to baby. So I think Chelsea Green is the obvious choice.
No, see, honestly, if you wanted to go with heel and face, I would have Asuka in it. To be honest with you, Asuka would look good in a championship again.
Oh yeah, I think she's long overdue for a title, big time.
Yeah, that's another good possibility too. If they wanted to play around with that idea,
Chelsea Green, honestly, until she gets back and proves herself again, because I think that's where she really does have to do. Over with the crowd is great. Jey Uso was over with the crowd for 13 years.
Oh, yeah.
So let's not play that favorite. But Chelsea, I think right now, until she proves herself, I think she's Intercontinental U.S. champion at best.
I disagree. And if my receipt for that would be watch the match between her and Penta back in, I forget what promotion it was. That is a fire match. A dude versus a chick in the ring. She looks like $1 million in that match. And it's not because Penta's selling it. It's just a great match.
But fair enough on your point. But the same thing is, you're not going to look at history books. You're going to look at what have you done for me lately.
Fair enough. That's fair. And again, she is injured. She should be coming back soon.
Yep. But I wish her all the best. I
do too.
I would love to see her as it's something that's definitely nobody would think about. It's something that probably well deserved.
Yeah.
And having some fresh blood, a fresh name under that title would be great.
Yeah. Agreed.
Wait, so what match are you talking about between Penta and
it was in a different promotion. I forget the name of the promotion, but they have I think it was Lucha Underground, if I'm not mistaken. Penta versus Chelsea Green. It's a match. It's real. It's on YouTube.
It's under the name Chelsea Green?
Holy shit.
I don't know if she had the same name.
And Penta is probably Pentagon Jr., right?
Probably.
Yeah, well,
I know he was on Lucha Underground, which, by the way, I heard WWE brought in looking to bring back. I saw that on a dirt sheet.
That's interesting. That's not too often you see a man versus a woman. I remember there was a match against Lita and Dean Malenko back during the Attitude Era. I'll never forget that. But wow, that's crazy.
Moving on to our other women's champion, which is Liv Morgan. Psycho, who do you think should take that? You don't look happy. Who do you think should take that gold off of Liv?
I think that shit. You know what? Raquel. I think Raquel should take it off of her.
Yep.
We talked about the idea that maybe there should be a little bit more of a split in the Judgment Day. I feel like the Judgment Day's been pretty stale as of late. There hasn't really been a whole lot going on for a while. So, you know what? That would at least make it interesting within the stable. You know what I mean? A little fight within the stable. I think that would be a logical choice because they started that idea. We talked about this yesterday, and I want to address it. They started the whole idea, the tension between them at the Royal Rumble. Where'd it go?
It disappeared.
Is it underneath my desk? I don't know where to go. It just, they did nothing with it.
It's not under my phone, so I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it just disappeared. It's like, what the fuck, guys? Yep. It was right there. It was right fucking there in front of you.
Yep.
And you just ignored it.
Yep.
So whatever.
What do you think, Charles?
Who's going to take the belt from Liv?
Yeah.
I don't really have anybody right now.
No?
I don't know anybody that's really worthy to go ahead and go after Liv.
What about Asuka?
There's nothing between them right now. Like you say,
there's
no formidable storyline to go off of on anybody. I mean, and I don't see. I mean, listen, I think they want to keep Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day stays afloat, stays together. So I don't see Roxanne or that big bitch going after her at all. So, I don't have anybody right now. Honestly, I'm trying to think of names off the top of my head of people that I would say Zelina Vega, but no, she's her big tits are gone. So
boom.
Yeah, boom. Yeah.
I agree with Psycho, but I want to add a little more to it. That they invoke that to where there's tension between Liv and Raquel. Raquel ends up winning the belt, but when Raquel wins the belt, they kick Liv out of the Judgment Day. Because you notice that she's been kind of power tripping. She's only had the title for a week and she's already power tripping with it. You could have that as a storyline that she's just being kind of a bitch to everybody in the Judgment Day. She's not focused on the bigger picture. She's just focused about herself. And then they end up just by. And that's pretty much when we could have it to where Dom drops Roxanne or drops Liv and ends up with Roxanne. Like he drops another girl. I mean,
what a player.
I know. And he's a chode, but he gets all the girls.
It's the mustache, man.
It's gotta be it's hair, dude.
And the mullet
and hair. But I do think that would definitely make more of an effect in the Judgment Day. And they kick her out of the Judgment Day, and now you have 4 people. You have 2 dudes and 2 women. There you go. There's your faction. It's done.
It's an idea.
It is an idea, but again, I don't work for creative for TKO and WWE.
You know what?
So it'll never happen.
I just thought of a name, and it's probably going to be surprising. Soul Reaper. When I saw her perform, and I believe it was Soul. I'm still trying to learn the new people's names, but she's the one that's like so athletic. She's doing all these flips and she's kind of like a Javon Evans.
Yeah,
yep, she is.
I think she could make a good run at it. Just win a few matches, will earn it. But
I think she should be the one to. I think she should be the one to dethrone Becky for the Intercontinental. Give her that belt first. See what she does with it. That I can see. That I can see.
Just want to see Becky lose to a hotter chick.
How dare you? All right, now on to the men. First, we'll talk about the Golden Boy, Cody Rhodes. Sir Charles, who takes that gold off of him?
Anybody.
That is the right answer, sir.
Have Vince McMahon come back and take it from him.
Wow.
Anybody. I don't fucking care. Get fucking Danhausen.
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious.
That'd be great. Curse him. Cody, goes for the Cody cutter, and all of a sudden fireworks shoot up his ass, and then Danhausen kicks him in the nuts and pins him or some shit like that.
Jesus fuck. Anybody.
Do
you agree with that answer, Psycho?
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking that it was going to be Randy Orton because I guarantee you it's from a storyline perspective. I don't see Orton just walking away from a loss at WrestleMania, especially after the punt that we got. But here's the thing. It's actually documented, and I'm watching the match. I totally see it. Randy Orton had a lot of back problems during that match. He was having trouble doing his normal stuff. If he's injured again, then that might sidetrack him for a while. Possibly indefinitely, because come on, man, he's been doing it forever. He needs to retire sometime soon. I know what he's doing. He's trying to get that number 15 before it's all said and done because he wants to lace up the boots. Well, he doesn't want to, but he's going to have to. His body is just giving out.
His body's quitting on him. Yeah,
exactly. And it's unfortunate, but it's like, dude, you've had a great fucking career. You have nothing to be ashamed of, man. You're one of the most respected people in the company. In the business, I would say.
It's funny because the original storyline was that Cody was going to drop the title to Randy, but they called an audible because of the issues and because Pat McAfee is like, the crowd's Pat McAfee having his finger on the pulse of the people, knew that people were not accepting what he did. They were just not into it. And he's like, fuck it, let me go away for a while. So they kept on Cody. Fine. I agree, anybody, but what we saw on Raw, I like to see CM Punk go to SmackDown and take that title from Cody. It's
Cody's already offered it.
I know he has. And if anybody should, and again, this is that whole, they have a history, you know, back in AEW, they have a friendship. They were friends back when they were both in WWE before, when Cody was Stardust and all those other gimmicks that he had. But yeah, CM Punk makes sense, but anybody just fuck LA Knight, who the fuck cares? Somebody take that shit off of Cody. And speaking of anybody taking the belt off of somebody, let's move on to Roman Reigns. This podcast does not like Roman Reigns. We don't like part-timers here. And there's one dude I heard, well, he said he'll go full-time. I'm like, dude, he wrestles 1 day a week. If even that, he shows up 1 day a week.
That's what most full-timers do, though. That's what most full-timers do, though, is show up 1 day a week.
Well, what I'm saying is that he's working, they work 1 day a week, and he was part-time. Like, that schedule was so fucking rough for him that he couldn't show up and do shit.
Okay, so let me address this, because I really want to know, what is it about the schedule? What is so rough on Roman Reigns? Is it because of the whole leukemia thing is still kind of like an aftermath type situation, or
they've never really talked about it? So
here's my thing with Roman. It's like, dude, if you can't wrestle a full fucking schedule, if it's too hard on you, maybe you don't need to be doing it anymore. Maybe you need to just walk away. Okay, if you can't wrestle a full schedule, I've said it 100 times, you don't need to be a champion. If he's going to wrestle a full fucking schedule, you know what? Hey,
more power to you.
More power to you. Hey, you know what? That's at least something I can praise you for, on top of all the other things that I can't fucking stand about it. Yeah. But as far as, you didn't ask who was going to start their opinion on that, my bad.
Go ahead.
I agree with it 100%. But yeah. Charles, who takes the belt off of Roman?
Oh, it's going to be Jey Uso. Yeet, man.
Oh my God. No, Jimmy.
Yeah, right.
No, they'll do a late cool. They'll both beat Roman and they'll get the belt and they'll cut it in half.
Well, you know what? One of the Usos will defend it when Roman's not there.
No, wow.
Don't give them ideas, goddammit. Don't do it.
But you know what? It might actually work if they did it that way. It'd be fucking hilarious.
No, the person that takes it off is going to be Oba.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could not agree more.
Oba already went on the post show and he says he wants a piece of the tribal chief.
Yep, he does.
The OT.
Do you agree with that, Psycho?
I do, and yet I don't. I mean, because his dominance at WrestleMania shows that he is definitely ready for a good spot. His rise right now and his dominance is very reminiscent of Brock Lesnar back when he first debuted back in 2002, whatever.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of that, where he came in after WrestleMania, and by SummerSlam, he took the belt off The Rock, and it just blew up from there. He was only there for 2 years before he left. So here's the thing. Yes, I think Oba should take it from him at SummerSlam. I think that's the best place to do it. But here's the thing. Do we think that if Oba wins the title right now, do we feel like maybe they're giving the title to him a little bit too soon, that his fire might flame out too early? Is that a possibility?
That's a valid question, actually, because think of it this way. When he wins the title, how long does he have it and who beats him for it? Valid question.
It's a valid question, but here's the thing. The thing with him, because he's wrestling a full schedule, he's a big guy, it's believable that he would defeat just about anybody in the company. Somebody like him holding the title for, a year, a couple of years, I would buy it. For him, I could totally believe it because he's got all the tools to make it work.
Yeah,
Roman didn't, in my opinion, but he does.
I mean, hell, he could hold it for 1,400 some.
No, he could hold it for 1,317 days,
and then
more than Roman. No,
you see what I mean. It's believable.
Here's what I'm thinking right now. This is my thought process. We go back to the Ultimate Warrior. We put the Intercontinental belt on Oba Femi. He wins it, say it, Money in the Bank or SummerSlam or whatever. Doesn't matter. He wins the Intercontinental belt. That's the working man's belt. Oba's a worker. It works. Down the road, say WrestleMania or even the Rumble or whatever, he gets a title. Put him in the Rumble, he wins. Oh shit. Oba versus whoever champion he picks. And he becomes the second Intercontinental World Heavyweight Champion when he beats them at WrestleMania. And he has to drop one of them. He's going to drop the Intercontinental.
Naturally.
I think that's the way they should go. If you want to establish him as a dominant force in the ring, I think he needs to have Kurt Angle's done it with the Intercontinental and the European title at one point.
Fun times.
I think that would work. I think it'd be a good idea. If it doesn't, it's one of those things where who the fuck beats him if he wins the Intercontinental? I'd rather him just drop it. Like, I don't need this anymore. I have the big one. Here's this belt, this puny belt here, and move forward. But then again, we're fantasy booking. This is months, years down the road. But to answer the question, I do believe Oba is the one to take. I'd like to see Oba beat Roman. I want it to be the squash match he had with Brock. I want it to be quick. I want it to be fast. I want to send that little fucker packing. Go promote Street Fighter. Nice knowing you. Take Cody.
It would make me so happy.
The last topic we'll talk about before we close the show, I want to know the MVP match for WrestleMania 42. There are a couple to pick from. There were some pretty decent matches on this card. Psycho, I will start with you. What is your MVP match of this card?
It's that's the thing. I've been thinking about this, and it's a toss-up right now between the unsanctioned match from night one and Gunther versus Seth Rollins, because goddamn it, both matches were bangers. They were both really good. They told good stories. They were fun to watch. But if I have to pick one of them, I would probably go with Gunther and Seth Rollins, because I feel like that was the proverbial, and I think I mentioned it before, the Steamboat Randy Savage match of the Mania card. I feel like that was the one that most fit that profile.
Yeah.
That it was from the start, it was a really good match. It started off hot and heavy, and it became more methodical as the match went on. I could have done without the interference. I feel like he should have attacked him after the match, but I expected it, so I can't really complain about it. But that's not even a blemish. That's just something to.
It's a bitch, is what it is. You're complaining. You're griping.
Addressing. It's called addressing, sir. Addressing the fact. But at the end of the day, it does not bring down the quality of that match one iota. It's still a fun aspect of the match. It's like, and like Gunther could have done it without it, because that's how good Gunther is in the ring. He didn't need the interference. But in the end, I think he would have beaten Seth regardless. Even though I think I originally said Seth was going to win, as we got closer to Mania, I was like, I want to change my decision. Or did I say Gunther or did I say Seth? I forget who I chose.
You said Gunther. We all said Gunther.
Oh, okay, my bad. I don't know why I thought I said Seth. But yeah, that was probably my favorite match of the whole entire 2 days. So,
Charles, what do you think?
I like both those matches. I really do. Again, it had everything in it. It was simple, straight to the point, and like you said, hot and heavy. Just kind of like the way I like my Saturday nights. So,
Jesus.
But I can't choose one of those as my MVP match, because what I'm going to choose, and I may be the lone wolf on this one. It's fine. I don't care. But I think the last match of WrestleMania, I'm going to go, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. The reason why, and again, disagree with me if you want. Yes, it was the longest match of the whole WrestleMania, 33 minutes, but it had everything.
Yeah.
Even though you could say there's some low points. Listen, 33 minutes for those two old men. Got to go ahead and have a breather here and there. But it had everything. And that's all I can really say about it. It had everything. It told a story within the story. Yes, CM Punk, the story ended when he just could not do another go to sleep. He was too old. He tried his best. He couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yep.
I need to go back and rewatch the match, because I went back and rewatched night one. I haven't done it to night two yet, but I'm going to kind of get a secondary, fresh perspective. Because, just like with movies for me, it may not hit well the first time, but, the second time around, without all the expectations and disappointments clouding everything, it may hit a little differently the second time around.
That's fair. See, both of y'all picked, I was originally going to say Seth versus Gunther. Now, with that, it was the only match on the card that had the minimal amount of buildup, but yet it was a phenomenal match. It had something to say. With Brock retiring, it kind of puts a damper in the whole Gunther retiring Brock. But then again, this may be story. We don't know. We won't know till SummerSlam rolls around. However, I have to agree with Charles. I do think CM Punk versus Roman, granted, there was that moment where Roman hit Punk with the steel chair and the ref let it go. But then again, we saw that in night one when Becky put her hands on the ref and removed the turnbuckle. So I'm like, they're letting them play. Well,
no, she should have disqualified Becky on the grounds that she grabbed her and pulled her in front of her. That should have been a disqualification. That's something else I forgot to address.
To be fair, Jessica Carr put her hands on talent. You don't do that as a ref. But I'm just saying it is. I'm agreeing that it should be a disqualification. She keeps her whatever. But
I'm taking a look at his mannerisms as he's talking about this whole Jessica Carr thing. I think
where are your hands? Show us your hands, bro.
He's got
okay. Looking a little hairy there. A little hairy there.
Oh, he's got a hard on for Jessica Carr.
Fuck off.
Hey, Jessica Carr is cute.
He wants a Jessica Carr, Becky Lynch threesome.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I'm not going to judge.
Who wouldn't?
I'm not going to judge on that.
Jessica Carr's not ugly. She's actually rather attractive.
I think she's cute.
But we're off topic here. The issue that I did have, the only issue I really had with the Roman CM Punk match was the steel step.
Stop being a crybaby.
No. I'm not being a crybaby. But this
You're being a whiner.
The only issue that I had was that.
See how you flip that? See
what but here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I give Roman a lot of respect because he did this on his own. He didn't have any interference from anybody. There was no there was no Busos. I had somebody in a live. They were like, "Did you just call them the Busos?" I'm like, "Dude, I've been calling them that since 2018, bro."
Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious.
It's
like copyright that shit. Make a T-shirt.
I probably should.
I'd wear it. I'd fucking wear it.
But he did it without any interference from the bloodline or the Timu bloodline or the MFTs or whatever. He did it on his own. And I am not a Roman fan by any means, but I can give him respect. Like, you fucking did it on your own, bro. Good for you. You know, I'm happy for you. Now let's see what you do.
I think that's the first time in a long time he's won a title match without interference.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? And I didn't even say that last week when I was giving my reaction to it. That is a very valid point that I just overlooked.
Yep.
That's a valid point. You know what? Kudos to you, Roman. For once in your life, you did something on your own. Good for you.
But
doesn't it feel good to do it on your own and not be such a bitch about things?
But here's the thing, though. Despite that, I will not acknowledge the tribal queef. And on that note, we will end.
You would acknowledge, though, the ginger cunt, though.
Fuck you. She's not even a real ginger. She dyes
her
hair.
Not. She's not.
She's a brunette. We'll end this episode of DJ Zodiac Podcast. Psycho Nerd, promote your shit. We should put that on a T-shirt too. Promote your shit.
Probably. Okay, you can find my podcast, Psycho Nerd Podcast, on YouTube. You can just type that in and find it. Otherwise, you can go to my YouTube page, Repeat Movie Viewer. My podcast is on there, along with all my movie reviews that I've been doing over the past year. Feel free to check it out. I just dropped a new episode on the Psycho Nerd Podcast just a few days ago, so feel free to check that out.
What are your subs at right now?
Currently at 28. It hasn't jumped at all in the last few weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, give this man a like and a follow on his YouTube page. Let's get him up to 50. I know that's a big number, but let's get him up to 50.
Well, that's the goal right now. I'm trying to get to 50 so I can do live streaming, so I can do like live game streaming on YouTube. But I'm going to have to resort to Twitch for the time being. So, hey, you do what you got to do.
I'm sorry. I want to see him playing video games online so I can see him bitching that the game is cheating without having to go to the house to see it.
Okay, I haven't said that in years.
Dude, I hit the button. I hit that button. God damn it. And
you know, the sad thing is that's not
accurate.
It's wrong. That's an accurate interpretation of how I was when I was a kid. He's not wrong.
No, I'm not.
I've mellowed out just a little.
Sir Charles, promote your shit.
The Charles Richardson Show can be found on YouTube with 67 subscribers.
Woo!
And the Facebook channel, Facebook page. Just search The Charles Richardson Show. We're live every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Unless I decide to just,
take a break
off for the night and just take a break. We are sponsored by W Energy Drink, so make sure you go ahead and go to w.g and type in the code Richardson Show and get 10% off your next order. W.gg, W Energy. Stay fucking awake.
I'm awake.
I'm not awake.
People that are falling asleep that need the energy drink.
Well,
he's promoting. Oh, I thought he was talking about us.
I'm wide the fuck awake.
Well, I haven't had coffee, but I'm not dozing off or anything. I'm just yawning, it happens.
And besides, not just the Josh Zodiac Podcast, but we have the Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. You can find both the Real Movie Critics and the Josh Zodiac Podcast on my YouTube page. the Real Zodiac Productions on YouTube. They are separate on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but that doesn't matter because the link to my link tree is down in the description, as well as these gentlemen's social media pages where they do their content. It'll all be down below. And we are sitting at a nice 63 subs, 75 people. Like, subscribe, follow. It's not that. And here, you know what? I talked to Psycho about this yesterday. I looked at the analytics. Of the 100% of people that watch the show, 94% are not even subscribed. You dirty bastards. How dare you? It's free. Hit like, subscribe, follow. Come on, put the numbers up there. Get us up to 75. I'd love it. And we also want interaction. Comment. Leave us comments. I want to know what you think about the show. I want you to know, who do you think is going to beat these champions down the road? I want to know. I want your take. And I will actually legit read them on the air. We will talk about them. We might bash you a little, depending on who it is.
I have to interject a little bit here. You see these two sitting next to me? They're over here begging for your likes. I'm happy with my 67.
Actually, to be fair, he's the only one doing that. I'm not begging for anything.
You're supposed to promote your brands. That's what I'm doing at this point.
I did promote my brand. They just subscribed to me naturally.
Yeah.
So we're not good enough, is what you're trying to say. We don't deserve it.
I didn't say that. Your numbers speak for themselves.
Dude, I was happy just to have one subscriber. The fact that it jumped up the way it did a few months ago was awesome.
Yeah.
I know. It's the same thing here. When we all started this, we're all doing this for fun.
Yeah.
We're not doing it for the money or anything like that. Trust me, if we were doing it for the money, we would have quit a long time ago.
But believe me, if down the road, man, a couple of years, if I could have enough subscribers and get monetized, that would be living the dream as far as I'm concerned. You know, doing this on a regular, doing this every week, talking about wrestling and movies, and not having to worry about where the money's coming from for my bills, and going to Fantastic Fest, and maybe going to South by Southwest down the road. Shit, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Getting a check from YouTube for $1.27 every month.
Hey. That's half a soda.
Unless you go to HEB and get a 2-liter, then it might cover.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
you gotta pick your battles, man. You gotta pick them.
True.
Gotta start small,
but
not as small as not as small as these two, but you know.
Oh well. But for the Psycho Nerd, Sir Charles, I am the Just Zodiac. This has been the Just Zodiac podcast. We want to thank you for watching and or listening to us. And until next time, remember, kids, in the world of Superman, be the Green Lantern. We will see you next time.
Lights go down.